Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome to Quest for Player 2. I'm LT.
And I am Daniel, aka Battlestar Galactica, aka the Intergalactic Instigator, aka the Purveyor of Petty.
And this week, we will be talking about Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
That's right.
If you have not seen this movie, it is phenomenal. I think it's is it Gondry? Michael Gondry?
Yes, it is. Yes,
it is so ridiculously well done. We have Titanic chick. We have Jim Carrey. We have Bilbo,
Frodo
Baggins,
Dildo
whatever his name
Dildo
is.
Baggins. Dildo Baggins. It's a different kind of film, but Dildo Baggins is a great guy.
You know what?
Oh boy.
Fuck. I started.
Where do you want me to go? Okay,
okay, but it's not that kind of movie. It is actually phenomenally good. It kind of the closest thing I could relate it to in like our current society is like a very long Black Mirror episode. It bases it off a little bit of technology that is beyond our current capabilities now, and focuses on how it affects the lives of the people that interact with it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hey, question.
Yes.
Did you rewatch it, or did you just like?
I actually rewatched it because I watched it when it came out, and that movie fucking wrecked me, and I never went back. Actually, all these movies, like, with the exception of 500 Days of Summer, this has been my first rewatch since seeing it.
I can understand.
Same thing for next week. If you want to tune in next week, we are going to watch the Spike Jonze movie, Her.
Oh boy, it's on Netflix.
It is on Netflix. It is super good, but that also kind of wrecked me, and I never rewatched it. But this movie, man, at the end, I was like, I feel
at the end, I don't, like, you know what, hey, you guys, hopefully we're assuming that you watch it. At the end,
let's just jump into it.
Just, like, they're in that hallway, and they're just talking, but is that a breakup, or were they
they are choosing to go at it again.
Yes.
At the end,
Okay.
So what you don't understand, in the beginning of this movie, let's give like a really quick rundown.
Yeah.
We started a little bit late today, so we're going to see how much we can cram into this show. But we are introduced, we see Joel, who is Jim Carrey's character, and we see Clementine, who is Kate Winslet's character. It looks like they're meeting for the first time, but as you will find out, this is actually their second encounter after they got their minds wiped. You can tell by the color of her hair. But yeah, so this is actually their second encounter. He doesn't know the Huckleberry's Hound song and all this. And you find out later, kind of like Memento. If you've ever seen Memento, where it kind of plays everything backwards and you learn exactly what happens at the end.
That's true.
And that's kind of like the start of the whole thing.
Yeah.
It is one of those kind of movies. It's super interesting. So they kind of get together. They have a really great time. They have this amazing chemistry. He wants to view her as that manic pixie dream girl that we talked about in the last couple weeks.
Yes.
And she outright says, I am not there. I am not for you. What? I'm actually going to read the quote because I found it. And they specifically did it. It's like, too many guys think I'm a concept, or that I complete them, or that I'm going to make them alive. But I'm just a fucked up girl who's looking for my own peace of mind. Don't assign me yours. So she is definitely not the manic pixie dream girl.
Not at all.
They knew that this trope existed, and she's not one of those. And through the course of it, she's kind of, she's a wild child. She wants to do everything on her own. She wants to have fun. She wants stimulating new experiences all the time. And Joel is very reserved, is very kind of conservative. And they start off really well. They go into a really big low where she gets bored and he gets really condescending towards her. And they break up, and Clementine decides to wipe her mind with this technology that'll completely erase him from her entire memory. Joel finds out, is super butthurt, decides to get the same thing done, but as he's going through this, he realizes that he wants to preserve some of these memories.
Instant regret.
But he can't. He can't. It gets completely wiped, and that's where we kind of start off, where they meet again on the bus, and they kind of have this great day together. At the end of the movie, they find out that they did get their minds erased. They listen to the tapes of their confessions of why they want to get rid of everything, how they feel about the other person, and they're like, shit, we sound like fucking terrible people. It sounded like we had a terrible fucking time. It sounded like I genuinely hated you, and you obviously genuinely hated me. And they're like, but I really, like, we had such a great day today that let's just see what happens. And that's how the movie ends.
Yeah.
They decide to take a chance. And I actually think it is incredibly hopeful. I do think, this is why I'm saying this. I feel like in the beginning, they weren't really upfront with how, we always talk about communication, right? And I feel like because they already exposed at the very beginning, at the second time around, like, oh my God, like, he's like, called her a wino, called her a bitch, says like she uses sex to get people to, you know, to like her. And she's like, that's not true. Why would you say that about me? He's like, well, I don't fucking know, like, because I got it erased. And she was like, he's boring and dull, and he doesn't know how to live in the moment, and he's just so whiny. And he was like, well, you know, so they kind of already know each other's worst qualities in their opinions, and they're still willing to give it a go. And I feel like, man, they had the roughest conversation, and I feel like it'll work out the second time, but maybe I'm just being optimistic.
It was a roughest conversation, but yet they were able to have it within a short amount of time, and they were honest with each other because they knew everything.
Yeah, I mean, it was exposed in a very dark way, and like, she already heard all the terrible things that Joel had said about her on the tape, and he already heard all the terrible things that she said about him on the tape, and they're still willing to pursue it. I honestly feel like the second time around, it will
work out.
Maybe not necessarily work out, but they won't have that crazy tumultuous like low that they had.
Okay, I can get with that, and I definitely do understand it. Now, here's a question: seeing how it works, and et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
Would you go through with it? Is there someone in your life, I don't need to know who it is, but is there someone in your life that you think about and you're like, yeah, I would go through it and have them erased?
I would never have anybody erased.
Nice.
I am the person that believes that everyone has a lesson to teach you, and that every relationship will help you learn more about yourself. Of what you want, what you don't want, what you're willing to accept, what you're willing to compromise on, and makes you a better person. Even like the terrible relationships, I don't think I would take them back.
No, I don't think I would. I wouldn't want to erase anything. Like you said, I'm the kind of person that's like, well, okay, I learned something. Every person is a learning experience to some extent to me. So it's like, all right, I learned from that, now hold on to that. And I don't want to erase them, because then, I mean, pretty much just like the title, learn from your past so you'll be doomed to repeat it.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing, where it's like, you need to remember your history, you need to take the time to reflect in order to grow. And that was the other thing that I really enjoyed, that as Joel was watching Clementine being erased from his memories and trying to hide her in different little pockets where she didn't belong, I feel like he really was reflecting. Does everyone else see the flashing in the video? Is that okay? So it's not just the TV; it is actually our video. Okay,
well, actually, I thought someone was going through our memories and wiping slowly. Yeah, and it's just reflecting.
I like see the little flickers on there.
It's like someone's going through it slowly and we're trying to erase us. Well, you can't. We're here now.
We're here to
and then all of a sudden the show just goes.
I know. The Wi-Fi cuts out. We're like, damn it. And yeah, if you guys want to support us.
That's a good question. I did have a good question.
What's a good question? What's a good question?
No, but go ahead.
If you guys want to support us, if you want to give us super chats, or even visit our Patreon page and support Cosmic Protectors, it'll help us bring up the quality of our shows, hopefully, so we don't have these random seizure-inducing blinks that we are exposing you guys to right now. Because now they were just black, and now I feel like they're flashing randomly.
Color and
so I apologize for that.
We do apologize for it, definitely. But we're working on it. Comic Book Realtor has a really good question. If you removed all of those memories, would you be a different person for the right reasons?
Man, that is a case by case question, but I do really like that. If you removed all of those memories, would you be a different person? I don't think. Hey, Larry Newbill. Well, I consider that. Larry Newbill, thank you so much for that super chat. The revolution will not be televised.
Very true. Very true. As you see it, it's going away. It won't be.
We are trying to televise it, but for whatever reason, software is not on our side today.
Revolution knows what it is.
I do think you would be a different person. Like, I feel like all of the experiences that you have, no matter how minuscule they might be, do shape the way that you think and the way that you look at things. For certain people, I'm not one of the kinds of people who hold grudges. I do feel like maybe for those kind of people that cannot let go, that cannot get past a certain point in their lives, maybe it would help them. But I think they would be a different person, and I don't know if their family and friends who are used to this type of person would still like them for the same reasons, though. I feel like any kind of heartache, any kind of bad experiences gives you a different perspective on life and makes you more empathetic and makes you a better person. I'm sure there's always exceptions where someone's going to be fucking terrible because of the things that they experience. So maybe they should get wiped.
Well, my thing is, honestly, I just like, I feel that when a breakup happens for a reason. Allow that breakup. I've known friends that have broken up with someone and then years later they get back with that person. Yeah. And it's worked out. Things have gone well. But more often than not, it doesn't. And my thing is, hey, the breakup happened. This person is still that person. Things may change a little bit and blah, 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 blah. But, I mean, their thinking, their pattern, their progress,
But people
it
do
may
grow
change
and
them. No,
change.
that's what I'm
Like,
saying.
yeah.
Their pattern, their progress, things like that, their thinking may change. So I wouldn't say, like, it's a hard, fast rule. But most of the time, it's kind of like, meh. A person is a person. Trying to just, you had what you had, let them go. And also, the reason I'm saying this is because I thought about something.
All right. What do you
I
think
thought about something, and I want this to be a thing.
What you got?
I am going to propose to you guys. This is revolutionary, but you know how you have a marriage and a wedding registry?
Yes.
I propose to you. What about a breakup registry?
Okay, man, so, is that like?
Think about it. Okay,
just like a prenup, man. Like a prenup registry.
Just like a registry for marriage, a breakup one would help people, kind of move along. It's mindfulness. It's being present, but not just.
So does that mean you bring everyone together and it's like, yo, friends and family, I know you paid all this money for a marriage and you don't get your gifts back, but I want you to buy me something else?
Well, no, it's a way to ask for things that you need when you break up with somebody. So you break up with someone, let's say, you guys have been, but the only way you can actually have a breakup registry go through is if, 1, you were living with the person, 2, it's been at least a 3-year relationship. If you break up after a 3-year relationship and you've been living with that person, you deserve a breakup registry. That's where your friends get together, and you know how usually friends get together when you break up and they're like, oh my God, I feel so sorry, blah, 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 blah. No, you fill out a kind of thing, you have a little registry, and then, they can all show up one day like a shower and then just, bring you stuff. What's wrong with that?
No, I feel like your friends, I feel like when you put that out there, you're just being greedy. If you are a true friend and you have someone that is breaking up, you are there for them regardless. You're like, I brought a bottle of wine, I brought some sad movies or some music, we're going to hang out, we're going to get through this together.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if if someone's like, we're all like, yo, I already paid for your bridal shower, your bachelorette party, got your wedding gift, your first kid's gift, second kid's gift.
You get this when you're in a dating relationship, not when you were married and blah blah. Just, hey, let's say you've been dating and it's been at least 3 years, and then you guys break up. There was no wedding. There was no anything like that.
I see.
Then I think you deserve something for a breakup registry.
But then I feel like then you don't get anything for the wedding. When you actually do get married,
Yeah, well,
I was like, yo, I'm not made out of money. Help me, I'm poor.
Yeah, well, hey,
and if you want to
you
support us, please support us on all of our things because I have not been working for 7 months.
Yeah, right? There you go. I wouldn't mind if you guys want to. Do you have a Cash App? You need to start telling people. You need to make a Cash App and tell people, like, hey, help me out, sign up to my Cash App. Coincidentally, my Cash App is $the Black the Squad. So you can go right there and just put $1 in. If every one of you put $1 in, that will go into my gas tank. So, just letting you know.
And with 9 people watching, if y'all did that, I could buy me some chicken tendies.
See, there you go. Just saying, guys. Just saying.
I'm going to waste all my money on
Cash
chicken
App.
tendies. It's probably better than don't give me money.
But Anthony Manzano says, okay. Daniel, I have a question.
Okay.
How awkward is it when you break up, but you guys have the same friend group? How should we deal with that?
How would you deal with that? I have my own opinions that are
Honestly,
not popular.
Honestly, I mean, it's kind of like, I guess, are we going to divide friends? Are we going to figure out times? Are we going to do like a whole thing like you are with a parent where you're like, all right, these days are mine, these days are yours? I don't know. It depends on the relationship.
Honestly, like within a group of friends, the way that I've always handled it, I mean, we didn't meet through a group of friends, but being introduced and everyone getting along, I was like, these were my friends first. Obviously, I get holidays and weekends, and whatever's left over, you may go see the other person. Same thing with your friends. The friends that you brought into this relationship, you get the holidays and you get the weekends, and anything left over, feel free.
Feel free. That makes sense.
Right?
That's how I think it should be. I mean, that's easier. That's true. It's like, yeah, who you brought in is who you're leaving with.
When it gets really iffy, though, it's like, Thanksgiving's coming up. A lot of people have Friendsgiving or Friendsmas, and it's like, shit, do we invite both of them? And then, let you duke it out yourselves. I feel like that's easiest. Yeah. So, I'm having this. I've always invited you, both of you guys for the last how many years. You guys can work it out on your own.
Yeah.
I play the neutral party.
And that's it. Yes, I'm done. Right? Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Wait, Elle is broke? Yes, we're all broke. Yes, we're all broke.
Yeah, I quit my job and I'm trying to make this entertainment thing and
Yeah.
real thing. So if you guys want to help support us, please go to Cosmic Protectors. We
Definitely.
funded a lot of money into making that comic,
Yeah,
and
we did.
any kind of support helps us. We're just trying to get the colors, the lettering. We're trying to get the art to look as good as it can. We're trying to do some pickups for some of the voiceovers and everything, and all of this costs money, and it is a passion project of ours. And I also haven't been working, so that would be great.
Definitely. It would help us a lot,
Or
guys. You can't head
if
over
you guys
there.
have an amazing job that will pay me tons of money where I can buy all the chicken tendies that I want, would also like that.
Yeah, hey.
Willing to work for it.
References aren't bad. Yeah, I do accept Venmo. What? Oh, Elle.
Yes.
What is the craziest dating experience you've ever had?
I don't know if it's necessarily appropriate to tell all this to you guys, but I don't know if it's crazy either, but it was one of the more disappointing. I'm pretty sure I could think of other ones, but this one comes up as the most disappointing. But I met a guy who was super cool. We met at a Star Wars event, and it was amazing. And so we went on a date, and it was like very hippie. Like very like, I love to camp, be in the forest. I was like, yo, I'm an urban princess. I love hot water, I love flushing toilets, and I love like comfortable beds. So we obviously did not click, but it was one of those things where it's like, hey, like, you're cute, I'm cute, do you want to come back to my place? Is what he said, and I was like, sure.
God, here it goes.
Yeah, and it was like, I live really close. So then 30 minutes later, I get to his place. That is not close to me. Close is like less than a 15-minute drive. Larry Newbill, thank you so much for this super chat. Congrats on reaching another goal on Patreon. We still are trying to set up the AMA. We don't know who we can get to show up.
We don't know.
Yeah, I've been messaging everyone trying to get this organized, and nobody replies
Nobody's
to me.
replying.
So
I don't know
as
what's
soon
going
as
on
I
with
hear back from everybody else, we will definitely schedule that AMA. It will be in the month of November.
Tell them there'll be food and everybody will be there.
Yeah,
I can't afford the food,
no, we
man.
can't afford the food. No, we gotta.
I eat mixed green salads with like no dressing because I can't afford shit.
Right.
So
we can pool together
if
everyone's
producer
money.
Shay is willing to buy us some chicken tendies, we will have more
We will
people
have
there.
more
But
people
until
there.
then, I
That's
cannot
it.
support that.
That's it. You know, Disney Plus is expensive, man. Especially when you're actually having especially when you're using someone else's.
I can't even pay for that.
No, I can't either. I'm using someone else's. Like they
I'm
were like,
using
oh,
Joe's.
they have also many devices, and they were like, hey, I thought of you, man. I'm like, thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Oh, please,
Them?
sir.
Yeah, can I have some more?
Do you also have the Hulu
Yes.
Netflix?
Do you have the Hulu Netflix? What about HBO Max? Is that a thing?
Or HBO Go? I'll
Yeah,
take any
I'll
of the
take
HBOs.
Any of them.
Right.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah, went over there and he couldn't get it. And I was like,
the
that's
worst.
fine. I don't care. Like I didn't care about that. I was like, let's put on a movie.
Yeah.
Didn't want to do a movie, and he was just beating his stick for like 2 hours, and I had fallen asleep, and I woke up, and he was still trying to get up. I was like, I don't care. Like I'm not. Like I'm just here.
Oh,
like,
my God.
And it was one of those awkward things where I was just like, I had fallen asleep, woken up. It was 2 hours later, and I was like, I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah.
He was like, no, it's okay, it's okay. I was like, dude, you gotta be chafing at this point.
Pretty much. And you're just
And
working as hard
was
as
just like-
possible. And you're like, yeah, this is not even remotely entertaining.
And it's fine. Like I know that can be an issue for some people, and I was just like, let's just watch a movie, or let's play some games, or like it, like I don't care. Like we had a good time, but we didn't have like that connection.
Mm-hmm.
But it got really awkward when he was like, hey, so what are you doing next week? And I was like, I'm fucking busy.
Yeah, right. He was like, but with what? I didn't even tell you when. The whole week.
Yeah.
What about the weekend?
I'm
Doubly so on the weekend.
I'm busy for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know you anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the craziest one, but it was one of the more like, what?
It's kind of awkward.
It was weird. It was a weird thing. What about you? What is your crazy story? I'm curious. I know you have a lot, but pick one. You gotta pick one.
I'll pick one.
All right.
I dated a girl and we went out. It was really great. We went to whatever freaking theater to see some
Alamo Draft House.
freaking movie. No. The New Art.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
to see some freaking movie.
Okay,
And
that's
she
where they have the
lived-
Rocky Horror Picture Shows and stuff, all right?
It was some niche movie.
Okay.
And then it was like, all right, cool. Now we're done with that. We went across the street to Subway.
Yeah.
And we got to Subway, and she was like, hey, do you want to go back to my place? I don't live too far. Sure, no problem. Go to her place. Now, this was close.
Okay.
It wasn't far.
Okay.
It was
She wasn't a
literally
liar.
like roughly about 5 minutes
Nice.
in driving. So, boom, we got there, and we're hanging out at her place, and she starts to talk up her friend. as she says, like blah blah, like
Ooh.
yeah, no, I'm thinking,
Menage a trois
yo,
tonight.
yeah,
Let's
right.
go.
I'm thinking like, yeah, we about to get this done, and she keeps talking about her friend, she's so cute, blah blah blah. I think she's gonna stop by, blah blah. Maybe we can, and I'm like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And then like something kind of happened that kind of made me stop and think. When she was describing her friend, I started to look around, and the person that she's describing.
I'm gonna cut you off
Yes.
really quick because we have another super chat from Larry Hill. Thank you so much. Sounds like a truth or drink moment right now, and I feel like this kind of is. This kind of is. We are exposing a lot. We're not even talking about this amazing movie that I was super excited to talk about.
So sorry.
But I am down with this. So what happened?
So I started, while she started talking, it's like one of those usual suspect moments, like Kaiser Soze. So look around, and the person she's describing is in pictures in the house, and then sometimes with her, and then sometimes with her, and what I would think is her father, and then another one what I think is her mother, and I'm like, I think she's talking about her sister? But she's like,
no!
she's so cute, and we've hung out before, we've done some things, just her and I, and blah, blah, yada, yada. And that's what made it immediately like, I can't do this. I can't do it. Please don't let it be.
No
then she comes in,
They
and
look
it's
the
like,
same.
that's the girl. And yes, they look the same. That's the girl. And she's like, oh, here she is. This is my friend. Blah, blah. And I'm like, oh. Friend, and I was gonna try to make her feel okay about it. I was like, friend or sister? And she was like, yeah, we're sisters. And I was like, oh, cool. All right, I'm out. It wasn't like, oh, okay, we only,
reaction,
yes, it was literally, I was like, okay, cool.
You're already at the door. It's like,
I'm already out.
I'll show myself out.
The thing is, I am not down with that level of incest. I'm like, hey, people say, oh, like twins and blah, blah, yada, yada. My thing is, after it's all done, they're going to be broken inside, and it's because of me. Yep. And I can't deal with that. I cannot. I'm a bad person in so many ways, but I can't deal with that. So I was like, all right, yep, I'm about done. It was like, whoop, time to dip. Yep, time to dip. Yep. I was out. And then still, to this day, I don't chit-chat with them. I don't, that
kind of incest, I'm like...
And people still like, yo,
if that's your
you could have
thing,
had two sisters. I was like, I'd rather have friends. I don't want sisters.
If that's your thing, sisters. We're not here to shame anyone.
Yeah,
hey, they were consenting adults.
Oh, yeah.
And that is 100% fine. So if you're into that, hey, welcome to it. For me, if you've
told,
seen any of these things, I'm like, I am not into incest. Like, even Clueless, Paul Rudd, you done fucked up. I don't allow it. Don't allow it.
But the story she told is just like, you really think about it, you're like, wait a minute, so you guys you've done stuff together without someone in the middle. Like, it's just you two. And then now you're... oh, God. Like, how do you just... oh, I'm turned on by my sibling? I was done. And I was like, all right, I'm finished. And that was it. Walked out. That's my worst dating situation.
That is crazy. That is a crazy story. I like that.
Yeah, right?
That is super
my
fun.
worst dating situation. But for this film...
I mean, Clementine is kind of crazy. She's a wild child. When they originally first met, she broke into some random's house on the beach when no one was living there, and Joel also dipped out. Where I was like, I'm not comfortable drinking these people's wine and looking through their mail. And you just open their window and they might live here. And she was like, all right, then go. And he left.
Yeah, he left.
As sometimes you gotta read a situation and be like, I'm not comfortable with this. And honestly, if I was Joel, I'm a little more on the conservative side too. I would have dipped out as well.
Jody, did I tune into an episode about incest?
You did.
I missed a couple weeks, and suddenly the show is taking a strange turn. No, it was someone asking about weird moments as far as dating, and
he could have been with some sisters, and he was like not down with the incest.
I'm just not down with it. Not down with it. I'm sorry, I had to
show myself out.
Skedaddle.
Sorry.
Get out. So that's what I did. But
we are actually talking about Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which has nothing to do with incest. But we just took a random detour because that question was super interesting.
Yes, it was. Sorry, we had to answer it. But also, okay, one thing that was trippy to me was that she just started to go off on him with the buzzword of nice.
Well, because nice is so generic.
Uh-huh.
It is such... I don't know. Someone was telling, oh, I'm dating this girl, and what do you like about her? She's nice. I'm like, that's the best thing you can conjure up. Number one, you're a liar, because I'm not that nice.
Okay.
And number two, that is the best thing that came to your mind. So I kind of get it. Because Joel tries to play it safe. He tries to be, he's very vanilla.
Yes.
Very vanilla.
Yes.
No Cold Stone Creamery specials for Joel
no,
over there. He is
no,
just
none at
basic
all.
vanilla. Not even like French vanilla bean.
No.
He
It's
is
like, I'm
just
sorry, I just need this vanilla.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
And so, and Clementine being like extremely, what's the word?
Eclectic. She's everywhere.
And she
You know?
wants to experience the most out of life. When she does something, she is 100% into that, and she wants to experience it fully. So I can see why her particular personality is like, that's really boring and kind of an insult to me, to us.
Okay.
We are more special. It's like, you know, are we like a tattoo, or are we like just like a name in the sand, like that's gonna wash away? Like, it's one of those things where it's like, I want to feel it, I want to be passionate, and Joel is just very non-committal, very just like, this is cool, I'm just going along with it because it's kind of interesting,
Sure.
but I, you know, got to keep my distance, got to keep my wall up. Also, he's kind of dating this other chick, Naomi, that's like not really mentioned or shows up, but yeah.
But for him, though, the whole thing is so playing it safe, and how that in itself is a problem for her. Because it's like, you know what?
She is a wild child. She, like, crashed his car, like, drinks and drives and, like, everything else. But I want to interrupt because I do like this question. So, Anthony Monzano asked, like, if you guys had a chance to go back in time when it comes to dating, what would you tell your younger selves?
What would I tell my younger selves to correct? Hey, you know, no. Honestly, hey, you know, losing your virginity isn't like a big thing. Don't try to be a super church boy.
Especially because you held for a very long time.
Well, I did, and I feel it was a waste. And it's a stupid thing to do.
I mean, if those beliefs align with you and it is something that you're passionate about,
yeah. For me,
it definitely
though.
works. But I feel like,
for me,
trying to pretend to be anything other than you are is the main thing, because mine is along that lines too. Like, it doesn't deal with that, but it's like trying to live up to kind of the expectations that people place upon you. So like Clementine in this movie is like, don't try to make me your ideal woman. I'm who I am. Like, I'm not here to service you, to further your story. And it's like, and I feel like we always want to be that, because when someone holds you up on this pedestal, you want to meet their expectations.
Yeah,
and sometimes it's not possible, and sometimes it's not who you are, and it's inauthentic.
Well, then and it's horribly stress-inducing.
Yes.
As far as like, oh my God, I have to make sure, oh no, they're not going to like this. They're not, oh my God, oh, and they're going to leave me now, blah, blah. And that just becomes the brunt of the relationship. You're not even more concerned with the person and who they are. You're concerned about making that person happy. And now you're seeing them as something that they aren't anymore, too. So it's kind of, once again, creating more space between you and that person. So honestly, yeah, if I could tell myself something, it would just be like, enjoy being you and only date someone who likes you. That's it.
And it is true. And it's kind of one of those things where, just, you have to be authentic. You have to be who you are. And I know, like, I don't know, probably for guys too, trying to live up to like this macho interpretation of what you need to be, and girls need to be like super cute and like for one example, I was dating this guy, and it's like, you know, I like to put on makeup and I like to be cute, but maybe not all the time. And there was one time that we were going to a dog park on a Sunday, and he was like, "You're not going to put on makeup?" And I was like, "No, I don't want to." He's like,
"The fuck is a dog park?"
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, like, maybe you shouldn't come." And that was like a red flag, where it's just like, okay, I like being cute and I like doing this, but it's like, I should have spoken up. Like, it eventually came to a head. But it's one of those things where it's like, wait. And, like, the thing is...
He said maybe you shouldn't come?
Yeah, because we're going out in public, and it's just like, I don't think I look that terrible without makeup. It's a Sunday morning, and we're going to a dog park.
Damn.
But instead of speaking my mind, which I do now because I'm a lot older, I put on makeup. And I was like, and I felt like shit. It was so inauthentic to who I am. And it just, like, that relationship didn't last very long, obviously. Like, our views didn't align.
Exactly.
You know? And it was just one of those things where I was like, you should have spoken up. You should have stood your ground. You shouldn't have done anything for anyone else because you didn't want it for yourself. There's something between a compromise of, like, hey, you know, we're going to a wedding. Can you not wear the sweatpants?
Well, yeah.
Like, you know, but it was something like that. Like, I get it. But it was just, like, one of those things where it's like, this... It shouldn't have been a compromise thing. It shouldn't have been something where I just gave in. And you're always going to run into situations like that. When someone wants you to do a certain thing and you like them enough, and you might compromise like who you are in search of that relationship. And I feel like you don't ever have to do that. You shouldn't have to do that.
Truer words have never been spoken. Truer words have never been spoken.
Yeah.
That's true. I agree with it 100%. I can't even say anything better.
Yeah.
I agree.
But yeah,
I agree.
but going back to our eternal sunshine of the spotless mind, because
Very true.
Clementine doesn't. Like, she holds
No.
fast to what she wants to do, and she was like, I was out late, I know it's 3 a.m., I was drinking, I crashed your car, I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's not the greatest person, she's not the greatest girlfriend,
No.
but Joel comes back and is like, you know, I don't even, like, she was like, oh, you're just worried because, like, you think that, like, I slept with somebody else. Like, you're ultra jealous, ultra paranoid,
But then
and, like,
he
and then
threw
he was
that
like,
dagger right back
yeah,
at
and he was
her.
like, I don't think you did. I know you did.
I know you did.
And that was a low blow.
Yeah.
And she stood up for herself and she was like, hey, I know I'm a wreck. Like, I know I'm, like, fucked up and I drank and I fucked up your car. But she was like, you don't have to degrade me like that.
Nope.
I'm leaving.
Nope.
And it's like, you know, that's great.
She's right. No, but
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to take that.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's something, and if that was a worry and a concern that he had for a long time, he shouldn't have held on to it. Because
Yeah.
holding on to it makes it where it does become something where you will weaponize it. And you will use it at the wrong moment.
Yes.
And you're using it intentionally to hurt somebody. Where it's like, hey, this is just a worry or insecurity that you had. You should have discussed it. He really should have. But instead, what he chose to do is weaponize it. And that showed where it's like, hey, you know what? Joel, you're not too great either. You know, honestly, in some ways, Joel, you're the monster here.
And it's hard because we're seeing everything from Joel's perspective. This is another, like, male point of view movie, kind of like
Yes.
last week when we were talking about 500 Days of Summer.
Mhm.
We get a little more objective in this because we do see Clementine, like, on her own and what she's doing and,
Yes.
you know, find out a little bit more about her.
Oh.
But, yeah, I don't know. Like, Joel,
But see,
in
that-
every relationship, you're going to say things that you want to regret, and he instantly regrets it. Like, he gets up and he was like, I didn't mean it, but sometimes you can't take those words back.
No.
And that is a trigger that, like, goes to Clementine, is like, we're done. Like, I don't want you in my memories at all, and
Yep.
sometimes you're going to have to live with the actions and the words that you put out there into the world.
Very
Especially
true.
with social media. There's a lot of people, like, not to take a random tangent, but with social media and everything else like that, there's a lot of people that post these kinds of things for the public to see, and it's like, those are things you can never take back.
Nope. And that's the thing. That's a big thing. Like when people get into arguments or people get into fights in relationships, the first thing or first person that you communicate with should not be your keyboard of
Yeah.
any type. It shouldn't be, oh, let me go ahead and tell the world, because now that the world knows, and there's no way
And you
for
can
me to
delete
take
it, but,
back.
you know, people can take screenshots. People can talk about it. Like, there are certain
Once,
things.
once they
yeah.
catch it, it's out there, and people will be able to discuss it forever. And then it's like, now you have to deal with that. Even if you're like, oh, well, I didn't mean it. Well, it's too late. Now it's said. Now everybody heard it. Now
Yeah.
everyone saw it, and that's it.
Yeah, you put it out in that world. So I think having a clear head, I mean, obviously when you're in a relationship, you're going to have heated arguments, but when you love and respect the other person, things like that shouldn't happen. It is
Definitely.
one of those things where it's like, hey, I'm really upset. We need to sit down and we need to talk, and I might have to take a moment away.
Yeah.
So Joel
look,
done mess up, but also, like, I'm not gonna lie. If my significant other came back super drunk late and was like, "Hey, I crashed your car," I'm gonna be pissed. I ain't gonna be the calmest person in the world,
Yes.
but I ain't gonna take, like, cheap jabs, you know.
Now, comic book realtor. However, let's be fair. Clementine has to take responsibility for her actions too. At least Joel was open to do it.
It's true. It is
Okay.
true.
I agree.
Yeah, because Clementine is definitely a wild child.
Yes, but the
But
thing
we're
is,
also only seeing the majority of stuff from Joel's point of view, so we don't really get to see her go off and feel bad. But
Yeah, very
she
true.
was also pretty drunk.
yeah,
she
very
she's,
true. But
she
we,
is that manic pixie dream girl in Joel's
in Joel's mind. In Joel's
originally,
mind,
and then when
yes.
he sees her clearly, you
It's
know,
a totally different
like,
thing.
yeah, the
Totally
realistic.
different.
After we talk about the honeymoon phase, and you see, like, the
Yes.
real qualities, and you're like, I actually don't really like you as a person.
No, and it's like, but ultimately, with everything that happened, they still ended up getting connected together again.
They
And it
do
was just
have
like,
an
so it-
unspoken chemistry.
Yes, they do. And it happens to be something that's very interesting when you do think about it. Because what Elijah Wood did, even though he was part of the team that was supposed to delete and remove, what he chose to do was replace.
Yes.
And he put himself in the spot.
It was so creepy.
Even though there were things that she hated about Joel, there are also things that she really, really loved about Joel. So much so that Elijah Wood put himself in that spot, and she was like, I
It's
love
weird.
you. Yeah. But
well,
that's the thing. Well, I mean, you know, she was, at least I'm with you, you know? I'm
yeah, but then,
interested in
but she
blah,
was starting
blah.
to break down like certain things, like when they're on the ice and he's saying the same words that Joel said to her when they went to Montauk and like was laying
I've
on
gotta
the
go
ice.
home.
She was like, "This is weird. I don't like it. I don't
Yep.
feel that connection with you."
Yep.
But it also shows the connection that Joel had. Like one of the like outstanding moments that I feel like really showed it is when Elijah Wood's character gives her the jewelry, and she was like,
Oh, yeah.
"I've never received jewelry from anyone that I genuinely love. Like, how did you know?" And it shows that Joel, even being reserved and maybe not really being as affectionate and as open with his feelings as Clementine is, really does pay attention, really does listen, really does watch to see what she likes, and is
Very
trying
true.
to be there for her. Maybe not in like the very outwardly way that she is for him.
Yeah.
Of like, hey, like I'm gonna bring adventure to your life. I'm gonna bring like conversation and excitement. And I do feel like it is a good balance for her, where it's like, hey, you shouldn't be drinking and driving, and like that anger kind of came from that. Like, you crashed my car, you could have killed someone. He's like, should we check the fender to see if there's like dead
some
bodies,
dead bodies
in
in
there?
there?
Like, you are so like, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but it's like you have no care for any other life except for your own, and that is a problem too.
Very irresponsible.
Yeah.
A little selfish.
Yes. Yes. So I don't know, but I do say that like they do get along extremely well.
Yeah, like you said, unspoken chemistry that's clearly there, and the thing is, it does have to do with choices, decisions, and sometimes even just the little small things that it's like they connect and it resonates
Yes.
with them from one to another, and that's a thing where it's like, wow, there's a beautiful connection. So the thing is, you have to ask yourself, was this what everyone else is titling it a doomed relationship?
I think originally it probably was doomed, but I feel like it's kind of a second chance for them. They know everything that, and I feel like, especially for Joel, so this is kind of one of the questions that I had. So Joel, the only time he has to reflect on their whole relationship as he's going backwards from the most current memories of Clementine to the oldest memories of Clementine as they're erasing them. And obviously when it starts out, it's all the bad stuff, and he's okay with it being erased.
yeah.
But it's when they're in bed and they're in the sheets and she's talking about how like, I just wanted to be pretty and I had this doll, and it's like, and like so insecure and so brutally honest and like open and exposed, and he just wants to be there for her. He's like, please just let me keep this one.
Yes.
Let me, the moment that I was able to connect with her, and as they go back further and further until they get to the house, and like he's really thinking back, it's like, she wasn't that terrible. Like, she did expose me to a lot of interesting things. We went out on the ice and had this genuine moment, like one of these kind of like magical moments on the ice, and we're just laying here and everything is perfect. And even being back at the house, he's like, I really wish I stayed. Like, I don't know why I didn't. And he realizes that, you know, like, it's hard to see it because at the end it was all bad.
Yeah.
And it's hard not to focus on that.
It's true.
But
That's
he
very
saw
true.
the good with it, you know?
Man.
And I thought that was really, I really enjoyed that. And have any of you guys seen like Inside Out, that Disney movie?
Oh yeah, of
about the
course,
brain?
of course.
And it's that whole thing where it's like Joy wants to just be happy, and like at the very end she realizes like this true happiness comes because she was sad. Like the one thing with
Yes.
like Riley failing at
That's
hockey
right.
and she wanted to quit the team, and that one core memory that was happy was only there because of sadness.
Yeah.
And you know, same thing with the end. And I don't know, this movie is so good. I think you can learn and you can move on, and I think Joel has that ability to reflect. And even though it was erased, they obviously still had that connection. Same thing with Kristen Dunst's character and the main doctor guy.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Where it's like, no matter how much you erase, you can't deny that. Like, I don't know if it's talking about soulmates or anything, but, undeniable chemistry.
There's undeniable chemistry. As
Yeah.
some Lila would say, yeah, it's a soul tie, and
Yeah.
it's just always there no matter what you do. So yeah, I mean, you can't just run away from it. It's better to address it.
But yeah, like I wish we could talk so much more about this episode.
I do.
We do have to wrap it up. Do you have any final thoughts or comments or anything about
Honestly,
what this is?
what you said were some of the best things when it came to it, as far as like, well, heartbreak is an experience, and it's an experience that can hurt, but it's an experience that you can learn from. And any experience you can learn from can also be a good one for you.
It is.
That's
All
how I feel.
experiences, everything is like every day you should be trying to learn something, even if it's super mundane. It shapes who you are as a person, your outlook on the world. And I feel like that's what makes you you. You can't erase those memories.
No.
It would be a detriment to your own personal growth if you try to suppress any of that.
Very true. Very true. You wouldn't be you. No longer you.
Yeah. So it sucks. Heartbreak sucks. It's gonna suck. But it'll
Yeah.
make you a better person, and I believe that. That Ariana Grande song we can't play it because we're gonna get flagged for
Yeah.
all this other stuff. But that thank you next, where it's like, oh man,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
taught me
you
a
know.
lot of stuff. You taught me how to do this, learn how to love, learn how to be a better communicator, do all this, and it's like now I'm better for the next person that I meet. Someone
That's it.
is out there that will love you for who you
Yes,
are.
that's right. Someone that will love you according to who you are and who you've become.
Yes.
And they'll appreciate your journey as the whole way through when you actually explain it to them.
Yeah, and if you want to tune in next week, we'll be here at 9 o'clock, hopefully, pending any issues that we have. But if you can watch her, it is on Netflix. It is a Spike Jonze movie. It's super interesting. It has Black Widow, just her voice,
Yep.
not her image, and shoot, I forget the main actor's name.
And Joker, Joaquin
Yes,
Phoenix.
yes, the Joker.
Yeah.
So if you want to see the Joker and Black Widow get together, watch her. It is on Netflix. We'll be talking about that next week.
Oh, it's going to be so good.
Yeah.
It's going to be so good.
And I guess until then, you can...
Yeah. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to keep up to date with everything trending.
in geek pop culture. Bye, guys. Jinx!